You can completely change your life a lot quicker than you think. And knowing this can change the way you see things forever. And this is how. But first, I need to make my dinner. So, our brains are programmed to believe anything that we tell it. From song lyrics to self-deprecating jokes, our brain creates a reality from the information that we feed it. There's a rice experiment conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto, where he placed rice in 3 different beakers and covered it in water. So every day for a month, he spoke positive words into one, saying things like thank you. He spoke negative words into the next, saying things like you're an idiot, and completely ignored the third one. When the month concluded, the rice that was loved began to ferment, the one that was spoken negatively into completely turned black, and the rice that was ignored just began to rot. Dr. Emoto claimed that our words can affect physical matter, but critics within the industry claim that the experiment lacked scientific controls and is more symbolic rather than proven science. But I can't help but think about so many scientific connections where we have more influence on our perceptive reality than we think, regardless of whether science proves his claims to be true or not. The placebo effect, self-fulfilling prophecy, and neuroplasticity are all concepts that prove our thoughts and words have power. And we know that humans give off energy. Our biological processes, like cellular respiration, allows us to expel energy to be able to function. And to preface, I am not a scientist in any capacity.
We know.
I am simply just an inquisitive person. But with that being said, can we better understand our biological functions to change the way that we live life quickly? And you know when people say that someone has good energy or that someone is low vibrational, I've always wondered, does that have validity? Why are we drawn towards certain people's energies and repelled by others, sometimes despite their appearance? And along the exploration of this thought, I came across quantum physics. And stick with me for a second because I need to have a quick science lesson. Quantum physics is the study of matter and energy at the smallest scale, specifically atomic and subatomic levels. It essentially explains the rules and systems of the universe at the tiniest level. And all matter, including cells and molecules, exist as vibrating energy at the atomic level. Biologically, humans, which are made up of these cells and molecules, give off vibrational energy. But what about the energy that we give off emotionally, like our vibe, you know what I mean? And so I ran across this chart, and it shows our vibrations are higher at the most positive emotions, like love and happiness, than the negative ones, like anger or shame. It's the ideology that our thoughts and emotions create our vibration and energy. When we connect our vibration to scientific concepts like the placebo effect, self-fulfilling prophecy, neuroplasticity, we can assume that we're able to attract things that we want in life by affirming it, or redirecting our energy and vibrations towards positivity. It's essentially like selective attention, which is our cognitive ability to focus on a specific thing in our environment while filtering out anything else that's irrelevant. Like, we consciously yet unconsciously choose what we pay attention to.
She's peeling my skin.
That classic phenomenon where you break up with your ex and you see their car everywhere, and you've literally never seen a Chrysler PT Cruiser as much as you do now. Or if you're insecure about something and all of a sudden you notice that one thing in everybody else. The things that we direct our time and attention towards will show up in our lives. That's why what energy you put out always returns to you. So if all these things were true, wouldn't that mean by only focusing on abundance and positive things in your life will bring you more of it, while actively rejecting anything that refutes this? So yeah, that sounds extremely compelling. Like, I can get literally anything that I want, and all I have to do is be happy. And to me, that's pretty easy. And the more research I did, my bubble was bursted because of the treacherous word pseudoscience.
Oh my god.
To those who don't know, pseudoscience is widely considered as bad because it's not proven science. There can be claims that spread misinformation and tarnish the reputation of actual proven studies. But to me, as somebody that's pretty health conscious, it kind of reminds me of how the food industry views holistic medicines and natural foods. And if you're in the science industry and this is a bad comparison, please let me know why in the comments, because I'm kind of interested to learn more. Because if I was Big Pharma, or like the food equivalent, like what, Big Hamburger, I can see
offended.
why they would be against, holistic medicine and very nature-oriented things monetarily. Because who's gonna eat the double Whopper Slopper Giganto Big Mac burger and give us our money?
The what?
If it's not you, who's gonna be the person to get sick from my 3D printed food
3D
and then go
printed?
to the hospital, and then the hospital relieves the symptoms rather than curing the condition? It's gotta be one of y'all.
Me?
And I don't want no smoke from Big Burger or Big Pill, because I eat a burger from time to time and partake in medicine. But I just think it's so interesting how our systems are built in the Western world.
Give me that.
And it's important to have these scientific studies, but when we compare our society to, Chinese cultures, traditional Chinese medicine, where they give just as much validity to these ancient systems focused on like balancing their energy or herbal remedies and things of that nature. And I can understand the skepticism of pseudoscience because there's no way to prove it. To conduct a valid science experiment, you need a hypothesis, independent variables, control variables, just all these elements of concrete data points to prove what we just saw. In no way am I pushing pseudoscience, because having data is important.
You love that cutting
And
board, huh?
misinformation can even be really deadly. And as I mentioned before, I'm not a scientist, but what I'm really interested in is the expansion of thought. But I want to introduce the question, if we can't prove something physically or explain it fully, does that mean it has no validity? If you went to Europe, had a beautiful vacation,
Oui, oui.
and didn't post it on Instagram, did you actually go though? Probably not,
Oh.
because I didn't see anything and I can't prove that you went. You gotta run it by me next time just so I can justify these things.
Who is you?
If you ran a marathon and didn't tell literally every single person in your vicinity, did you actually run it? Absolutely not. I actually think you're the first person on the whole world to have ran a marathon and not told anybody, I think. So when you put it that way, do we have to have concrete evidence to make it true? As someone who believes in God, spirituality isn't proven in the same way that science is. Science doesn't prove or expand upon the reasons why our life has meaning or the purpose that we give it. Who are we beyond our biological processes, and what does our soul like, and what offends our spirit? Spirituality, for a lot of people, is the justification why we can defy odds and break these statistics, even though we don't fully understand it. In science, we can account for and have justifications for why these outliers defy the odds within our data set. But within spirituality, it's a lot harder to explain why we're the outliers despite everything saying we shouldn't be. And the cool thing about believing in a higher power is not only did God create science and medicine, so spirituality and science can exist together rather than separately, but maybe some things we weren't meant to understand. And for me, as such an ambitious person, it's really comforting to know that I can create a plan with such an unfathomable goal, and I can take the steps to achieve this plan and do everything in my control. And even though I don't know how I'll achieve the goal, or it seems so unattainable and so far, by saying, I don't know how it'll happen, but it will, creates this strong trust and bond to your decisions and your faith that drives you, not other people. And it's not being willfully ignorant or naive, such as when nice people are nice to the people that wrong them and choosing not to be mean or malicious. It's choosing to focus on the things that you can actually control on purpose. To revisit quantum physics, quantum leaping is a phenomenon where an abrupt, instantaneous shift takes place in a quantum system from one energy state to another without passing through the space in between. To compare this to our lives, it's essentially achieving such a significant change in such a small period of time. But a key principle from Einstein's theory of relativity is that time is relative. It's that the speed of time depends on the observer. And so time is not ubiquitous. It's how we experience it. It's like that individual person's perspective. So I did some research into what was the main reason why some people achieve so much in such a short period of time, quantum leaped. And it's because of their strong self-image and their ability to reject anything that challenges the thought of who they are. Muhammad Ali was known for saying, "I am the greatest," before the world even viewed him as such. And that confidence in knowing that he was the best allowed him to reach success a lot sooner. If I was boxing and my opponent with a very low self-image gets knocked down by my mean right hook, up, down, left, right combo
versus opponent
gets hit
2
with my 1-2 sis special, who do you think's gonna get up quicker? When they got knocked down and face defeat, whose thoughts are, okay, I'll figure this out in order for me to be better and quicker for the next time. This practice gives me clarity, and it happened to me because this will make me stronger. Versus, I'm not good at this, I don't know how to do this, and give up. Or maybe you don't give up, and after you mope, you get back at it and start thinking positive. But after you're done moping and start that cycle, you've already lost valuable time moping. Days, months, years,
centuries.
Time you were eons further than the place where you are at right now just by your attitude. So, with all this information would lead us to believe that we have a direct impact.
Can you turn the music up? I can't hear it.
We can achieve our unfathomable goals. And I mean, now more than ever, we're seeing so many financially free people at such a young age. And if it's been done time and time again, why couldn't it happen to you? Personally, I believe that there are 2 reasons why people don't do certain things when they're well aware of what it is. And it's because, 1, they simply can't, or 2, they just don't want to. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And it's all up to you. Do you actually want your life to be different? And so for me, I started this channel in pursuit of knowledge and building a community. And with that, the question comes in, well, what if I'm wrong? And what if I spread misinformation? But it's so freeing to think that I may be wrong, and I may be wrong like a couple of times, a lot of times, but that's life. That's literally the beautiful thing about learning is it's a cyclical process of affirming or dismantling your beliefs, and each cycle brings you closer and closer to a final destination that just never comes. I think it's a gift and a privilege to be able to learn and correct it, and just the flow of all these different things. So I'd love to hear what you think. Do you think that these concepts are pseudoscience and hold no validity to them? Or do you think that it's simply science of qualitative research, or it's just understudied? Personally, I'm convinced, and I will be adopting this way of thinking. But I will tell you, I just hit 101 subscribers today.
Woohoo!
So thank you all so much. But check back in a couple months to test my theory and see where the channel's at. Keep it here and keep it simple, Sid.